Welcome to another video by Happy Place Creations. As you see, I'm still working on my camera options to get you guys a better view. I have brought back the coasters from my last video and that Kong shell, if I'm saying that correctly, that we made in the last video. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this shell, but as I had said, we were going to do something with these coasters in this video. I have dug out some sand and an accessory of different shells. And I've also have a new product going in my eBay store. And it is these, looks like ocean bubbles or waves, however you guys want to perceive it. As you can see, these are almost 8 by 8 centimeters. And they will come as a set of 4. And they are trimmable, as you will see in my video. I'm going to be cutting different shapes to add into the coasters. So let's begin. Once we have put in our shell assortment, we're going to be putting in a tiny bit of resin, letting that cure to hold them in place before we fill them to the top with clear resin. So let's see what we want to have. I think I'm going to stop right here and mix up a little bit of resin to put in with our sand. So let me mix up a little bit of resin and I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. I have my resin mixed up and I should have thought ahead, but I took my little thing and I pre-cut it to fit inside the coaster. I usually use these in jewelry, but I wanted to try it in a coaster. So this is what I have. And then I'm going to put the sand around and make my little beach scene. So that's what I have so far. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to cut these. What I did was I made sure I had the right side up. Let me set this one aside. And I took a coaster and I fit it to the best that I could. At first, I tried to set it on top, but it kept sinking because I wanted it to. Let me see how I did that. Yeah, I first rounded it at one corner. I will show you how I did this. I rounded one corner. And then I went to the best that I could and lined it up, and then I marked it. I probably should have a better marker, but this is what I have in front of me. Because this is where my sand is going to go. So I'm not too worried about this end, because that's going to be covered. So I tried to cover the rest of it so that it was to the edge of the coaster. And I just put a little mark to where I wanted to cut. And then I cut on the inside of that line. And then I pre-fit it. So if it doesn't fit, you can just come back and cut a little more. Like so. And then, of course, I cut the flat edge off anyway, because oceans don't have flat edges. But I tried to stay as round as I could. But following my line that I just put down, like so, and then I pre-fit it to my coaster. And then if anything needed to be trimmed, I would just go back and trim it like that. Because this is where the sand's going to fit, so it's going to cover it anyway. And then we just have our little extra. And then we go on to do the next two. Like I said, these will be in my eBay store, and they will come as a set of 4. Just trying to decide which corner I wanted to cut off, which it doesn't matter. Whoops, that fell right into that one. I don't want that in there. And then I do the same thing for the other ones. Just catch my line. So how is everyone today? I hope I'm finding everybody doing good. I'm doing great. Today turned out to be a very nice day today. It's not hot, it's not humid. The sun is not out today, but it's very nice today. As you can see, I'm taking off that very edge. If you want to leave that on, that's perfectly fine, but I'm choosing to cut it off. I'm working on making these bigger sheets. And there we go, we have another one. And one more to go. And then we just fit it in as before. Make our lines to the corresponding area. And I am again using the Unicorn Art Resin. I have found that that seems to be a very good resin. It only takes 3 to 4 minutes to mix. And I have a 30 to 40 work time, 34 minutes, sorry. Oops, I didn't follow my line. Oop, that one is a little bit too big on this. Whoop. We got an equipment malfunction today. We need a little bit more of a trim on this edge. Don't want to cut over your coasters because you don't want all those little pieces falling in. And there we have it. Well, that one's not quite as good as the others, but I'll make it work. Make sure they're nice and flat because once we put our resin in this layer, there is no changing it. Alrighty. I need to have some of that stay clear, so give me a moment. I just need to grab a cup for mixing the sand. And I like to put my sand on the bottom. That way it's not flying all over the place while I'm mixing it. I can put my sand in ahead of time. We'll put the layer of resin and then put the sand on top of it and mix it that way. However, I don't want the sand to, to spread everywhere. So I think I got a little bit too much. I'd rather mix a little bit more than. There we go. I'd rather mix up more resin. That needs a little bit more resin. There we go. Let's put our sand in for our little beach. And then we just spread it around. And how you want your beach is totally up to you. How big of a beach is totally up to you. But I am going to put this in and then let it dry. Oh, I gotta mix up some more. I just want to put a little bit more over here. Oops, I dropped some in the center. Let's start putting in some shells. All my shells are different sizes, so I'm going to put them different. Whoop, I put that one different than the other. Well, let's put this one the other way. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I have that cup right in the way. And then we have these little tiny ones. Put that one over here. Yeah. Oop, I'm going to spill them. I love these flat ones. They're beautiful. Let's stand that one right there. This is a littler one. And I have some sand dollars as well. Whoops. That was my resin stick, and I got it right in the sand. Come on. Well, my puppy's wants to come outside, but I'm recording right now, so I will let him out in a few moments. I think I put too much sand. My shells are kind of sinking there. Yeah, we're going to have to mix up some more. But that is okay. There we go. Just want to get those edges covered a little bit. Put our shells in. Is that the one I used? No, this one. Sorry for the silence. I'm trying to concentrate. That's what I do. But I'm not really used to having anyone in the shop with me while I'm working. So I just go along my way and just make things and play tunes, and that's what I do. Let's see what we can find. Oh, a nice pretty white one. There's a pretty pink one. It's upside down. Oh, there's already a pink one there. How about that one? And I have some starfish as well. Put a nice starfish right in the center. If I can get it out of the bag. There we go. I always wonder which side's up. Well, I guess that's that one. Can anyone tell me in the comments which side is supposed to be up? And there we go. I'm going to move that one a little bit. There we go. And how am I doing, guys? How about we just do a little design inside this shell? Because this has a ridge right here, and I'm afraid if I put that in there with some shells, that's going to run around that edge, and that's going to ruin that dish. So I'm going to stop right here and let this cure and then I will come back for the next step. I will see you when it's cured. Hey everyone, I'm back and they are cured. Are you ready to see? I got one little bubble right there. And what you do is you just drill down in and get rid of that bubble. And then the top coat will fill in that and you won't even see it. So I will be doing that before I list these on eBay. So let's take a look. There's not much of a reveal because I did them from the top. But here's our bottom and here's our side view. Oh, that one kind of lifted, but it does not affect the top view, as you can tell. So I will be putting something around the sides. And there goes my puppies again. We're kind of in the middle of a change going on here. So they're a little worked up. Yeah, I should have glued this down before I poured the resin. But as doesn't affect the top. Actually, it makes it look like kind of like a 3D effect, which is kind of cool. You always want to turn your molds back right so you don't ruin them. And let's see. Yep, looks good. Yeah, I will be putting something around the edges of these. Like I had said prior, I usually use this stuff just in jewelry. I've never used it in a coaster before, but now that I know, I'm going to have to glue it down or put it in wet resin so that it won't lift. I will definitely be using these again. But overall, these came out pretty good. No bubbles other than that one right there. And obviously that must have come out of a seashell. Right there. That seashell must have let out some air. I think in the future, if I'm going to use seashells that may contain air, I'm going to soak them a little bit first. That way they can release the air. But overall, I'm pretty happy with these coasters. So I thank you for joining me today. Hope everyone is happy and healthy. May your crafts turn out amazing. Please check out my eBay store, linked in the description. You have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video.